Hey, what's up? It's me. Okay, so, like, you know who I am, right? Just kidding. Anyways, I'm used to what you want to call paranormal. Not used to it where I deal with it every single day, but used to it where it started happening. I've had moments where there'd be like, something paranormal would happen, and then many years would pass by, and then something paranormal would happen, and so on and so forth. That's how it would work. So, but my experiences are changing. Like, they're different than what they used to be like. Like, before, I would have experiences like when I was 15, my very first experience was seeing like these two ghost girls or whatever. And that really creeped me out because I've never experienced something like that before. And then after that, I had another experience when I was 16, but I was trying to contact like spirits, which was like not good. And then I got some kind of scary guy or whatever, spirit or whatever, that like talked to me through the phone. Like, my phone would ring. The phone rang, and like, and then it told me to die or whatever. And then I stopped trying to do that kind of stuff. And then, so just like stuff like that would be like ghost stuff. Like, I've experienced stuff like that. Actually, my first experience, yeah, there was other experiences, whatever. Okay, but too many to explain. What I'm gonna explain about though is like, I started looking into what people call glitches in the Matrix because I was experiencing things that I couldn't explain that was like more different than what I'm used to. And so there's tons of stories of people around the world who are experiencing similar things. So I'm just gonna get on board with it, okay? So I wrote down stuff, so I'm gonna read what I wrote. I've read a lot, a lot of time slip glitches, time travel, doppelganger videos. I started watching them after the experiences I had in the past few years. My first real experience started back in 2018. It was a strong deja vu. My ex had just moved into this new house, and as I proceeded down the hallway towards his bedroom, he had his couch, desk, and bags all in the hallway. Everything seemed to slow down. I recalled seeing this all before like a really clear memory. These deja vus would increase over these next few years, and something new had happened. I see visions. 3 times I've seen these visions of this group of men, I'm pretty sure they were men, that like go bursting into my home. And then I'm filled with fear thinking this is going to happen. And so in 3 different separate homes I had this vision. After that I haven't had it, but it's like, what is that about, right? Like, as if they burst in and like grabbed me or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, anyways. And I moved into another place, and it was a 2-bedroom apartment. After only 2 months of being there, the energy of my apartment shifted. It grew dense and denser. The lights dimmed, and it was getting hard to breathe. I saw shadowy figures glide across the room. And no, I was not on drugs. I was completely sober. I heard a freaky, I had a cat, but I heard like a freaky cat screech. Like, it was like not a normal cat noise. I lay down on my bed, and my son started jumping. I could feel the vibration on the floor. My cat walked across my legs. I felt her pillowy paws gently on my legs. After that, I put my son to bed, and he fell asleep. And I laid back down. The air grew dense again. It was hard to breathe. I felt the vibration of my son jumping, and my cat go across my legs. But it wasn't them. Like, it was like a ghost version or something. It wasn't them, because my son was sleeping, and my cat was in the other room. And I was like creeped out. I was like, what the heck is going on here? Another thing that happened here, it's like things got rewound back or something. That's the only way I could describe it, is as if, but I couldn't see anything, but I could feel. Anyways, another thing that happened here, I had just finished, another day, I had just finished putting my bed. Okay. Another time, I had just putting my son to bed, and I proceeded to walk to my kitchen. All of a sudden, I saw these like bright flashes, like, I don't know, like 2 or 3, I'm not quite sure. All of a sudden, I felt this weird sensation all around me, and time slowed down. I saw this like black swirling smoke. It like, I don't know, it came like around this way, but I don't know if it came out of me or if it was coming at me. It was oddly black, like it was really black. It was like blacker than black. And then I saw these flashes again. These bright, bright flashes. Like, then the air went back to normal. I was dumbfounded. Like, I just stood there. I was like, I was freaked out. I was shocked. I had no idea what the heck was going on. And I was running all these different things through my mind of what it could have been. Like did someone come into my apartment? Was I like, because you know how did somebody shoot me or something? Like, did I die, or angels protecting me from some sort of like demonic entity or something? Because there was a lot of things going on in that apartment, right? I did feel though that something had happened in that apartment. Like, I do feel like something happened, like someone had passed away there or something. So I did a lot of praying in that place. Now I didn't write this down, but I did a lot of praying in that place. Oh, that's what I forgot to say. I did this really huge prayer, and then I heard this, like, it was like demonic or something. It was mad that I was praying to stop all like plans of the enemy, Hossikon and stuff, and it got mad. Like, I literally, like, it got mad. That was my first time experiencing a demon type of thing. In one of my old places a long, long time ago on Samuel's, I did a prayer, and there was, and I've heard that before. So it was a little bit different than the first time I heard of it. Anyways, that was many years ago. So I'm like, okay, like, this is like, but I've never, like, the difference between that time and this time was I was like, it was really like, I could really feel it. And then I think about, like, scripture says that there's times where you could like really feel the darkness, like you could feel the energies of these spirits. Now I know that there's it's not just bad spirits, there's good spirits too, like the angels or whatever you want to call them. So there's that energy around too. Unfortunately, there's a lot of like darker stuff because of the stuff, the way the world is right now. I feel because of all the crap that we like listen to and watch, like horror movies now, because I gotta stop watching all that kind of stuff. So anyways, I had also feel like a pole shift had happened, but spiritually, like people are talking about like the pole shift's gonna happen and stuff, and I was like, what happens in the spirit first before it happens in the physical. And so what if there was a pole shift spiritually within us? I know this sounds crazy, like so you got the conscious and then you got the subconscious. So it'd be like, what if we're like living in our subconscious right now? I don't know how to explain that, but that came to my mind the other night. I'm like, I don't know, last night was a crazy thing too. There was a storm. That's a whole other thing. The air became dense. It was like the weirdest, oddest storm I experienced that too. The same kind of storm back in 2021. But I can share my story here. There was a thunderstorm. It was a very odd one. The thunder sounded abnormally loud. The lightning lit up everything purple. As it cracked and boomed, it seemed as if the lightning was inside my home. Car alarms started going off, and my son's wooden house with doorbells started to ring. I could literally feel the electricity in the air. The top of my head started to hurt. Odd. I really don't think I was hit, but I felt strange. I got a thought in my head, almost like a command. Unplug everything around you, and the Wi-Fi box. I began frantically unplugging everything, and as I went to unplug the Wi-Fi box, a weird static and burst of light came from it. Next, I went to go turn off the lights in their bedrooms, and so I was told to turn off all the lights in the bedroom, so I turned them all off. And then I was told to pray. So I prayed and I prayed and I prayed, and the thunder grew so loud above my house that I literally shook it. The lightning was so intense and the air was so dense. I felt this presence around me. It was freaky. But I started reciting scriptures and kept praying. Eventually, the storm began to calm. It felt like it tried to come back, but then I just started praying again. So I would continue to pray until it all stopped for good. This was not the first time this had happened. It happened 2021. What really creeped me out, though, was when my son said to me, like as in a past memory, like this was a while ago, he said, "Remember, Mom, when that lightning hit you?" What? I'm not even kidding you guys. He told me that. I'm like, what are you talking about? Because it's like that when the lightning came down the other night, it was as if the whole room lit up. Like, I don't know how to explain. Like, I didn't really see anything come in here, but it lit up as if it did. It's really hard to explain. But yeah, the top of my head was just like, it hurt. And that wasn't the first time either. That last storm too, it felt like it. I don't know, man, you guys. Some weird stuff going on here. People are just gonna think I'm crazy. That's the thing. I was in, especially those who have, like, but a lot of these people who have had these magic stories don't have mental illness or anything like that. But I was deemed as, like, mental illness. But that only happened when I was in a really bad abusive relationship and I was drinking and doing drugs at the time. And I got sent there because, like, drugs really messed me up. Like, I don't want to tell me how many times I went down into spirit realms that were not good when I was on drugs, man. But this is nothing like that. Like, I've been sober for, it'll be 5 years soon, coming up in January 2024. It'll be 5 years. So it's not something like that, and I haven't been to the psych ward since I was on drugs and alcohol, so it's nothing like that. And unfortunately, there's still people who are ignorant of spiritual stuff because of what they are told from Western society. But more and more people waking up, they're realizing that there definitely is spiritual stuff, there definitely is supernatural things, and I do believe that I was told that more and more things are going to happen that people just can't deny anymore. That there's stuff beyond the physical, you know what I mean? Something beyond their 5 senses too. And it might drive people nuts. But it's good that there's platforms around where people can talk about those things, so they don't feel like they're losing their minds, and so they don't feel alone, you know. So I'm glad that there's platforms like that for people to talk about their stuff. Anyways, I'm sharing that. Bye.